The HSA offers several unique tax benefits, and I'm going to tell you why you should be maxing out your contribution to your HSA each and every year. Got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernardo, the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Do you have an HSA that you're allowed to contribute to? You need to have a qualifying or HSA eligible high deductible health plan, and if so, then you're allowed to make a contribution to your HSA. You're not forced to, but you're allowed to make a contribution to your HSA. You need to not have any other health insurance, so you can't have a qualifying high deductible health plan and also be on your spouse's health insurance. Therefore, maybe you have a low deductible over there, but you've got this HSA eligible plan, so you get the benefits of both. No. You need to only have that health insurance. But if you do, then you're allowed to open up an HSA and make a contribution to it. You can contribute as much as you want, up to a limit, and that limit in 2024 is $4,150 for individual coverage, $8,300 for family coverage or joint coverage. If you're age 55 or older, you can make an extra $1,000 catch-up contribution, and if you and your spouse are both age 55 or older, you can each do an extra $1,000. Not to the same HSA, it would need to be a separate HSA. So for a family, $10,300 into your HSA, that's your maximum contribution. And also know that any employer contributions actually go towards that limit. It doesn't work like a 401k where your match has no bearing on your contribution limit to the 401k. In an HSA, it does. So if your employer contributes $1,000, then you have to take that into consideration when you're making your contributions. And then finally, before we get into the content, HSA dollars are not use it or lose it. So if you put in that full $4,150, but you only withdraw $1,000 because you only have $1,000 of medical expenses, what happens to the remaining $3,150? It stays in there. It's your money, and it just continues to the next year. It's like a 401k. It's like a bank account where it's your money that you can use next year for medical expenses. Oh, what if I don't have that much next year? Well, then it's there for the following. Well, what if I don't have that in the following? Well, it's there for the following. It continues to grow, tax sheltered, and be there for future medical expenses. Now, that is the right segue to, well, if you have a qualifying high deductible health plan that makes you eligible to fund an HSA, are you maximizing your contribution? Are you putting in the maximum amount that you can every year? Most people do not. Most people look at the HSA and they contribute up to the amount that they think they'll withdraw for medical expenses. And I think there's two potential reasons for this. One, I think there's still the idea that it is use it or lose it. No, that's the flexible spending account. That's the FSA. That's the cafeteria plan, not the HSA. The HSA is not use it or lose it. I think many people still are confused by that. So they think about the year ahead. How much in medical expenses? Yeah, we'll go to the dentist and, assume I go to the doctor once and there's prescriptions, I don't know, $800 or $1,000 or whatever. And that's the amount they contribute to their HSA. Now, I would think about it differently. It's not use it or lose it. This is your money. So that's one of the reasons. And then the other is the changing contribution limits are complicated. They change every single year. Or like I said, 4,150 is the limit this year. Nice round number, right? But it changes a little bit each and every year. And do you have the financial kind of wherewithal, the resources to actually hit that contribution, that maximum amount? Well, there's several reasons why you should. Now, you need to be doing comprehensive financial planning, because if contributing the maximum amount to your HSA crowds out some other financial initiatives, some other goals or priorities, then you got to look at, well, how do I balance everything? And if I can't balance it, well, what adjustments and trade-offs do I need to make? But lots of reasons why you should consider and make it a high priority to contribute the maximum amount to your HSA. I've got the top 3 reasons why. First is that the HSA is the only tax-sheltered type of account that offers the trifecta of tax benefits. No other account offers all 3 benefits. And what are those 3? A tax deduction on your contributions, so pre-tax in, when you make that contribution, when you max it out or even put 1,000 or 2,000, whatever it is, it's a deduction on your tax return. You don't pay tax on that money today. So pre-tax in, tax sheltered growth. So hopefully that your HSA is earning some interest. Maybe you even haven't invested for the long term. That activity, that growth is all sheltered from tax. It doesn't land on your tax return. If you, for example, keep money in your bank account and that's earning interest, you might not feel it, you might not think so, but you're going to get an interest statement, a tax statement from your bank every single year, and you're actually going to have to pay tax on that interest for a bank account. An HSA, you're not going to get one. That is all tax sheltered. So that's the second part of the tax benefit. The third is tax-free withdrawals for qualifying medical expenses. So pre-tax in, tax sheltered within it, and then tax-free coming out. No other investment account or retirement account or tax shelter offers all three benefits. The Roth IRA is not tax deducted when you make your contribution. Tax sheltered, yes, and then withdrawals tax-free, but that's only 2 out of the 3. Pre-tax, you get traditional IRAs, pre-tax 401ks, get a tax deduction on your way in, tax sheltered within it, but you pay tax on the way out. The HSA offers the trifecta, all 3 tax benefits. The second reason why you need to max out your HSA contributions every single year is doing so may help you qualify for other tax benefits, either tax deductions or tax credits. The HSA, as a certified financial planner, our team of advisors and planners, we use the HSA all of the time to manipulate or get someone over the threshold so that they are more eligible for a new tax deduction or tax credit. What are some examples? Well, American Opportunity Tax Credit. So if you've got kids in college and you're helping to pay for tuition, your adjusted gross income needs to be below certain levels in order for you to qualify for that tax credit. Well, if you've got an HSA and your income is near that threshold, you're able to contribute to an HSA, get your adjusted gross income below the level such that now you qualify for the American Opportunity Tax Credit. Do this all the time with the Retirement Savers Contribution Credit as well, my favorite tax credit. What about, speaking of health insurance, what about the getting some premium tax credits, advanced premium tax credits? This is nerdy, but when you get your health insurance through healthcare.gov, through the healthcare.gov website, the amount that you pay for your health insurance on a monthly basis is based on your income, is based on your tax return. But when you're signing up for your health insurance on healthcare.gov, you're projecting, hey, here's what I think my income's going to be, and you pay your health insurance based on that assumption. But then when you file your tax return, that's where it all gets reconciled. Okay, you said you were going to have this much in income. Where'd your income actually fall on your tax return? Well, if your income was up here, you now have to pay some of those tax credits back. That can be very painful. You can make an HSA contribution to bring your income down here. Now you avoid having to pay back those premium tax credits. And then the third benefit, or the third reason why you should consider maxing out your HSA contribution, is to flip the script and treat your HSA like an additional retirement account as opposed to just a short-term medical savings account. Here's why. If you are saving up into your HSA and you're getting that tax deduction on the way in, but you don't need those dollars or all of those dollars for in the near term or in the short term for medical expenses. Say the example of you contribute the maximum $4,150 this year, but your medical expenses are only $1,000. Well, now you've got $3,150 that's there for the next year. Well, if you contribute the maximum again and only use $1,000, the maximum again and only use $1,000, now you're starting to build some critical mass into your HSA. And what should you do with that? Well, what if you invested those dollars? And yeah, that would make them subject to the ups and downs of the markets. But over time, those dollars would then be able to grow, compound for you, and accumulate and grow to a pretty sizable amount out there in the future. Well, now if you treat that as a retirement asset out there in the future, you can then do 2 things with it. One, you could then make a list or make an Excel spreadsheet of all of the medical expenses, out-of-pocket medical expenses that you had ever since you had that HSA that maybe you paid for out of pocket. And you can reimburse yourself from that HSA out there in retirement tax-free. We call that shoeboxing your HSA. There's a lot more to that strategy. Done a lot of content on it. Work with your CFP if you're interested. But the other thing that you can do is use that HSA to fund retirement's medical expenses. You're going to have Medicare Part B, Medicare Supplement, maybe Medicare Advantage, Part C. You're going to have copays, out-of-pockets, prescription expenses. Your HSA can all be used to fund those expenses in retirement as well. And guess what? I said those are your two options with the HSA. There is actually a third. If you get to retirement and you say, well, I don't have any more medical expenses that I already paid out of pocket to reimburse myself. I don't have that many medical expenses in retirement. Yeah, right. I actually might just need to draw these dollars out. Once you turn age 65 and beyond, you can draw dollars out of your HSA. It'd be taxable at that point if you were drawing those dollars out for something other than a qualifying medical expense. But there's no penalty in doing so. So essentially, the HSA turns into a de facto retirement account anyway. So those are three reasons, not the only three, but the three primary reasons why I would encourage you, we would push you to think of your HSA as more than just a short-term medical reimbursement account and contribute the maximum amount that you can to that HSA. But you got to work on that with your CFP. See if that makes sense with your financial goals and financial priorities. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go on and take your next wise step in your financial life.